I am going to restart another Oracle position, though. Will was fast. Did y'all see how fast Will put that video up yesterday? Jesus. We did the whole Oracle, why Larry Ellison is going to control the entire world, and he had it a clip within the end of the day. It is officially given back all of its gains from there, and it's back down to the same level. So I'm actually going to start opening up an Oracle position again for the long term, because Oracle is going to own the world. Larry Ellison is going to control the entire fucking world. And I don't think people understand that. And that's okay, but it doesn't change the inevitability. Larry Ellison will own all of us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a long-term Oracle position here. So, again, you know, markets conditions aside, I am watching Oracle slowly take over every aspect of our lives quietly. And because of that, I have to. Why is that? I've already explained it. You could go to my video from yesterday if you want on either TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. It basically is a short, condensed version of Oracle runs the data centers. And all of these companies are partnering with them. All that data is going through them. They're going to control the inflow and outflow of that data. On top of that, we've already talked about how Oracle is is part of the group that's going to take the TikTok US, which gives them access to algorithms, gives them access to social media. They're trying to buy Warner Brothers to get the media as well. They're basically going to, with OpenAI, they have AI, with Nvidia, they have the partnership that to host. They are going to own all of your information, all of your data. They're going to own the AI that is going to create new stuff. And then they're going to have the media that is going to push out that AI created stuff to you and basically utilize the algorithm to feed you any information, any media, anything they want in their own way, whether it's through them or through investors or through the government, whatever. And whether you want to call it propaganda, you call it manipulation, whatever it is, and they're going to own that. They are going to control the narrative of the world one day, starting with America. I don't see Oracle challenging AWS. See, you're looking at it as who is going to have the largest, portion of the pie or whatever. No. They're going to have direct access in, there, and out. Are you getting paid by Oracle? Why would Oracle pay me to sit here and say that they are going to basically enslave us, enslave our minds? What about Palantir? Who do you think Palantir is going to be using? Whose data centers do you think Palantir is going to be using? They ain't got their own to pump their stock. You think the 500 people here with their $20 to $30 Robinhood account are going to fucking pump a $531 billion company? You can be paid to pump their stock. Y'all are idiots. I remember when I said something similar about Palantir back in 2022. CIA funded the PayPal mafia in order to start this company. They end up building this company with Thiel and those guys. Then there's a pipeline between Palantir, the CIA, and then the government. We saw CIA people leave there, go work for Palantir as contractors or whatever, and then go work for the government. We said that there's going to be a massive contracts that are going to come through from defense and especially the government and the military, and those are always subscription-based fucking things. They're overpay and they re-up them all the time, and that this is going to be something that's there. You watch for inevitabilities. Larry Ellison used to work for the CIA. He used to run a program, a program for the CIA called Oracle. My dad just retired. My dad is retired, just turned 63. His advisor wants him to put a large sum of his money in annuities. I suggest some sort of treasury bond. He has a lot of money. The stock market from the past 30 years. What would be best for him? Why are you asking me? First off, instead of asking me, here's what you should do. Instead of listening to one financial advisor, go talk to a couple more. If they all tell you the same thing, maybe they're onto something. But I did a video years ago about things to do for a financial advisor. Make sure they're fiduciary. Make sure they work on a flat rate, not a commission, okay? Make sure that they take the time to know you, because anybody can plug numbers in and find the best return, but they don't know what kind of lifestyle you want. If it turns out that they get to know you and you fucking hate your kids and you don't want to leave money to them, they'll help you hide it. If your wife is a bitch or your husband's a fucking piece of shit, they can help you hide money from it. If you have a gambling problem, maybe they can lock it up for you. I mean, they can get to know you and help you out more. But, I don't know what your dad's lifestyle is going to be, what money he needs, what money he doesn't need, what kind of debt he has. Does he want to leave any money for anybody? Does he want to have a surplus? Does he want to, there's too many questions there. I don't like annuities unless you're using them for tax sheltering, but to each their own, you know what I mean? Like if he's loaded and he's paid off everything, he just wants to live a comfortable lifestyle. I mean, fuck it. He could fucking do treasury ladders for the fucking next 5 years if he wants, and have capital rolling in and out. I mean, he could stick it in a fucking, I don't know, man. I don't know. All good. Thanks for the answer. It's just every single person has a different situation and different family dynamics and different plans. And so like there's always that you could just type it into Chat GPT at this point and say, all right, this is how much money I have. This is how long I want to live. This is how much debt I have. What should I do? It could give you just basically a numerical thing, but there's always unknowns. There's family dynamics. There's ways of moving money around. I mean, I don't know. You know, my thing is that just like when you go with any major decision in your life, get second opinions. A lot of times we're so intimidated or so overwhelmed or whatever when it comes to financial things that the first one we go to, they sound like they know what they're doing, and we're like, I don't know what they're doing and I don't want to go through this process again. Sure, you sound trustworthy, I'll do it. No, fuck that. Make people work for it, okay? Make people work for it. All right? Make the fucking competition, heat up. You're gonna get the best of what you want. Okay? Trust me, I lived in Miami. I saw these girls, all right? I know what they were doing. All right, they got a massive active roster just trying to see who's going to give them the most. You do what you do. You competition, it works. So go around and talk to others, find out good ones, and then find a good plan. I mean, my grandfather went to his Morgan Stanley thing in 2022 when the market was falling. He said, I said, listen, he says, I want to, put my money, because he found out that he had dementia, but he didn't tell me at that point, so I had no idea. He's like, I've never liked the stock market. He has a pension because he never had to worry about money because his pension came in for his whole life. But he, at the time, without telling me, knew it was close to the end, and he wanted to make sure that my grandmother was taken care of. So he started talking to me, and he goes, what are your thoughts? I say, well, listen, the market, we're in a bear market right now. It was 2022, the market was down. I said, if I were you, I would start putting some into, total market broad ETFs or whatever structure you want, but I would start putting in the market. So he goes and he talks to the Morgan Stanley guy. The Morgan Stanley guy says not to invest in the market because it's too volatile right now. There's way more downside potential, and that the best thing is to avoid the market right now. That was June of 2022. I'm not even saying that he should have listened to me, his grandson, whatever. And you know what? The market did go down a couple more percent. I mean, it spiked up about 15%, but it was June of 2022. It did go down a little bit more to right here. And, I even explained to him, I said, he says, but what about this? I said, here's the thing. I said, there's nothing really, that's long-term damaging for the market, like, 5, 10, 15 years down the road. I said, the reason that this is falling is we had massive amounts of money into the markets. We had the Fed is let inflation get out of control with their transitory bullshit, and they're raising rates, and money's going to be tight, and companies, spec companies, growth companies, they're going to get hit by this. But I said, but once inflation comes under control, they're going to lower rates again. And, you got all these more people in the stock market. You got more stuff. You got international growth. COVID is built new industries. I said, the market's going to rebound back. I mean, it may not come back in the next couple of years, but it's definitely going to come back in 5, 10, 15 years. And he's like, I trust you, son. He said, but the Morgan Stanley guys, these bigger, they understand a little bit more than you do. And I was like, I respect why he said that. But I also wanted to say to him, his only job is to keep you with your money with him. That is all their job is. They don't know the future. We're all fucking guessing. Okay? But it is what it is.